Hi there, welcome to episode 186 of the WaveBack Music Podcast. My name is Kris.
And I'm Matt.
And we're here to listen to the most interesting video game music there is. For the first time in almost a decade, there's a proper new Mario Kart game in the world, and it's got an astoundingly good soundtrack. So there's no better time than now to take a look back at where it all began. Watch out for those red shells, because tonight we listen to the music of Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Well, hi there, Matt.
Hi there, Kris.
Yeah, how's your evening going, huh?
I plead the fifth.
Good stuff. Yeah, so since the last time we spoke, there's a Nintendo Switch 2 in my house. I did the midnight launch. I got the system and the Pro controller and the camera. It's up there, and I've been playing a metric ton of Mario Kart. And let me tell you, the soundtrack is amazing.
I saw you posted a little. you posted a video.
A video of me getting Mario Karted. Yeah, that was a good time.
It looks real fun. Like it's actually really a beautiful game.
It's wonderful.
And Mario Kart has, of course, the distinct honor of being one of the most fun and frustrating games to play all at the same time.
Yes, indeed. This one's even more chaotic because there's 24 racers at a time.
Yeah,
just like. It's wonderful, beautiful chaos. It's got a great selection of characters. The open world thing is really cool. Just the racing itself is just ultra fun. But really, the thing that has killed me more than anything is the soundtrack. I will just put the menu on, plug the Switch 2 into my stereo system when I'm like cooking or doing dishes, and just listen to the music, because it's not just Mario Kart music. Like, obviously, there's new music. But the rest of the soundtrack is it's a jazz album of music from all throughout Mario's career, from like Yoshi's Island to Mario Paint to Mario 3D World, to Odyssey, like, and everything in between. It's insane how much stuff there is in here, and it's all wonderful.
That's awesome.
Love it so much. But it's also a lot of good stuff from Super Mario Kart in there, which is what we're here to listen to, is the original soundtrack, the original Super Mario Kart, the one that started it all, that kicked it all off. So let's do it, right? Let's get to work.
Yeah.
So all this time not listening to Mario Kart music like a chump. Matt?
Yes.
Hit us with some history.
Certainly. Oh, this is awkward now that I have to read off the computer, and I've made a new setup for myself. Okay. Super Mario Kart was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in September of 1992, launching one of the most successful game series of all time. It took the cast of characters from the Mario universe, put them on go-karts, and armed them with banana peels, Koopa shells, and all manner of other items, new and old, for some chaotic racing action. The game was a showcase for the system's ability to render two Mode 7 racetracks in split screen at the same time, and wound up being a massive success thanks to its addictive single-player and multiplayer gameplay.
The game soundtrack was composed by one of Nintendo's unsung greats, Soyo Oka. She may not have a super extensive resume with Nintendo, but her works are among some of the most memorable soundtracks they've ever produced, including Ice Hockey for NES, Pilot Wings and SimCity for Super NES, and even tackling the daunting task of the 16-bit reimagining of Koji Kondo's original Super Mario Bros. Tracks for Super Mario All-Stars. So, Matt, what is your history with Super Mario Kart?
Oh, man. A handful of times I talked about this particular group of friends that I had as a lad. We would come home from, 7th and 8th grade, and we'd go to our buddy's house, Harvey. He lived across the street from me, and he had a nice big TV, and he had the Super Nintendo, and one of our friends had Mario Kart, and we would just play for hours and hours and hours. the battle mode. We would race each other. Everything that's in a Mario Kart video game racing montage, hitting each other while we played. What a great game. I can't remember if I possessed it at any point, but I know at very least I borrowed it from someone, played through it, beat all the circuits, effectively raced all the races, beat the game, beat all the races, that sort of thing. So I don't quite remember there being an actual ending or anything, but I just
You
remember
get the credits roll once you finish Special Cup.
yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I housed this game inside and out. I was such a big, big, big fan of it. I loved it to death. But I think for me, the thing I loved the most was that I was able to actually kind of couch co-op with my buddies, and we were young, and we were, oh, who's better, who's stronger, who's faster, whatever. And I was always the smallest kid, so I wanted something to hold on to. So I think I made Mario Kart my thing. It was
Hmm.
a lot of good times, a lot of great times.
Not an entirely dissimilar situation for me. The game came out, and I thought it was a neat idea. My friend Greg got it before I did. Spent a ton of time with Greg playing Super Mario Kart. Again, battle mode, racing,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Eventually I got my own copy, which I still have here right next to me. And so
Ah.
I've been in the Mario Kart game since the Mario Kart game existed. I've played every know commercially available release. I don't think I've played every arcade version,
Mm.
just because they're not super easy to find. I think there's like 4 arcade Mario Kart versions now, and there's some like VR arcade one. I've never even seen one, but I have played Mario Kart Arcade, Arcade GP. Um, I've definitely played that a handful of times, and I can't
Huh.
remember which ones. But every time I see one, I like to try to throw a couple quarters at it and give it a race. But the original Super Mario Kart, man, oh man, what a game! What a game! What a soundtrack! Just tons of time with it, and it's funny trying to make my kids play the original one now because they can't. They just can't figure it out. I'm like, you guys are suckers.
I could
Get
see them like
get good.
good. Poor John. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. God. Sorry. I really get a kick out of like really just being real with your kids, like not sugarcoating and just beating their pants off. That's what my friend did. A little side note, but actually has to do with Mario Kart on the Switch. He would just house her, and she would cry and cry, and he's like, "Tough, I don't care." And then one day she rose up and beat him, and he was like, "There you go."
That's it. That's how it feels. Yeah, and my kids my kids have beaten me a couple of times in Mario Kart. I mean, it's pretty rare, but it's like it's freaking Mario Kart, you know? It doesn't matter how good I'm doing.
Oh no, you can be in last the whole race.
I'd be cruising by in first place by like several thousand miles, and then it's blue shell, red shell, another blue shell, lightning bolt. All of a sudden, I'm in third place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just yeah, that's Mario Kart for you.
That is, yeah.
And it all started here with this wonderful soundtrack. And so I picked the tracks in a specific order. We opened things up with uh, sometimes we'll do the title screen music, but the title screen music I thought was really important, and I wanted to discuss that one. So we opened things up with the Choose Your Driver menu music, which is lovely, lovely music. But anyway, the main theme. This is actually one of those songs that's been reprised in every Mario Kart game, as far as I know. I don't know the arcade soundtracks well enough to say for sure, but this main theme, this Mario Kart theme, has been reprised as part of the title sequence for every Mario Kart game. Um, and I feel like there's definitely a lot of folks out there who started Mario Kart on N64
Mm-hmm.
or on the GameCube. Those are two real popular ones, Double Dash and 64. And I feel like there's a certain aspects of the original Super Mario Kart that some folks might not realize, and that is including the title screen music, mostly because this melody gets filtered into title screens in strange ways after you listen to them for a while. Like doesn't even seem like you're listening to something that would incorporate this melody, but then all of a sudden it shows up. So without further ado, let us listen to the main theme from the original Super Mario Kart. Enjoy. A shorty but a goodie, and an absolute classic tune, and just does a perfect job of setting the stage for this game. Because this sort of goofy, like the bass in this this song, and for most of this game, is that weird. It's got that weird springy, spongy sound to it, which is super goofy. And you fire up the game, and you've got the little Mario characters on their dinky little go karts, and there's got like push B written in crayon in the background. It's just an odd looking game because the character kart racer wasn't a thing until this. This started an entire genre of video games.
Absolutely.
But this little tune here, I think this is probably no, it's not my favorite rendition of it. I love this tune. It's one of my favorites. But when I think about the Mario Kart 8 intro music, yeah, that might be my favorite flavor of this particular Super Mario Kart opening music. But still, I love this little tune. What do you think of it? What do you make of this one?
Well, I can make a hat or a sailboat or.
Which Mystery Science Theater is that?
That's actually Airplane.
Oh, right, that's Airplane. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I was imagining Crow saying that, and I think he actually said, he said that.
He might
because of Airplane.
Yeah,
that
he might
it.
absolutely
Yep,
have done that.
That's where I was getting all screwy in my brain. Yeah,
That's okay. It's a screwy place in there.
It is.
This song brings back so many memories. For everything I said up front about hanging out with my buddies and just being ultra competitive about it. Oh, wow. I'm filled with like a wonderful sense of nostalgia right now. But musically it's kind of funny. Like I listen to it and I think, gee, it kind of sounds bad. There's like this weird how do I put it? What's the word I'm looking for? There's like a weird like reverb space to it that like and that spongy bass and everything the sum of its parts or whatever, some of these parts or whatever, um but like I don't know, it comes together in such a fun way that I'm willing to overlook a lot of what I would maybe consider shortcomings in other places. um it's a fun tune. I can't deny it, but I mean, when I sit and really dissect it, I'm kind of like, okay, it's all right.
I couldn't love it more. I think
Yeah.
it's perfect. I love the reverb. I love the goofy, spongy sound. I think it's perfection. Just love it.
No, yeah. Please don't mistake what I'm saying.
No,
I
I get
love it.
it. You hate it, and you hate me, and you hate Mario,
Uh-huh.
and you think Sonic rules. I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could be
I
playing Sonic R for
Uh-huh.
Saturn instead of
Mhm.
Mario Kart, you would.
Yeah. I love that after all these years you know exactly who I am. You see right through everything to the core of me, Christopher.
Sure, reach like an open book.
Like an open book with a
M-
little bed lamp.
yes, indeed, Bartholomew.
Meth. You're not the first person who has called me that once. I've heard that before once, and I was crying. Anyway, no, you know what I'm saying.
I do indeed. Yeah,
I
no,
I
I
have
get it.
such a love for Mario Kart. I have such a love for everything that is Mario Kart. It's just when if I sit and I analyze it from like a from not a fan's point of view, but more of a I don't know, an engineer's point of view. It's kind of like, ooh, brother, ooh.
It is really weird. Like, this
Yeah.
soundtrack is strangely put together, especially when we start getting to those 90s whistles, which
Oh.
we'll be getting to sooner.
I forgot about some of those.
Oh,
Yeah, you
there's a
know what?
lot of them in this
Let's
soundtrack.
let's not dwell any longer. Let's
Yes,
forge
let us
on.
move on to probably, with the exception of that title screen and the when you win a tournament tune. This is the one that's shown up in the most places. This is the Mario Circuit theme from the original Super Mario Kart. It's one of the most iconic songs out of the game, and I love it to death. So here is Mario Circuit from Super Mario Kart. Enjoy. The instrument choices are just really something else. They're so odd. The like kind of weird out of tune flute that kind of follows up some of the main melody, and even the main melody itself is like weirdly off kilter. This is such a strange piece of music, but it's brilliant. I never get tired of listening to this one, and all the reinventions of it that they've had over the years have been super fun. But man, I love this one. I love this chorus. I just see the flat Mode 7 Lego
Mm-hmm.
brick looking outlines and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and running into pipes on those hard to turn corners, and getting mushrooms thrown at me so I shrink from stupid Princess and Toad. And good times, good times. Yeah, I can't say love the song. Love the song. I really do.
Yeah, I'll agree. I mean, the instrument choice is so strange, especially for this time period. I'm real surprised. But I think the thing that I'm learning very quickly, moreover than, the instrumentation choices, is that sometimes uh things don't necessarily stand on their own. And like sometimes we'll talk about it and we'll, like, you just said it. You literally just said it. I can see the racetrack. I can see the flat mode 7. I can see all the um I see the game so well too. And I'm wondering if you know my recollection of the game and its music and stuff is not skewed by the gameplay. That is to say, like, did I actually really like this soundtrack? Or is it because it's attached to a game I love that it's just like, yeah, 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 come on, you're good too. You can come in. And I'm not saying that like this is a terrible soundtrack. This is just, I'm just really surprised. Maybe now as an adult, that's gone through whatever 12 years of live sound, and I've worked really great bands and I've worked really bad bands. Um, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, these instruments are just so strange.
Yeah, the instruments are super strange, but I will stand 100% by the fact that this soundtrack, like like you were saying before, it's more than the sum of its parts. The
Yeah.
the,
Oh
the
yeah.
sounds come together in a brilliant way, and we haven't heard the best of this yet, for
Yeah, it's
sure.
true.
Like I love this melody to bitty bits, but there are other songs in here that I think are just some of the just most memorable melodies. They're so well put together. But this one here is super iconic.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the best of the best. We're gonna
No,
get there.
I don't. But I also don't think that our. How do I say this? I don't think that this show is necessarily always about the best of the best. Like, because then I think we would be doing a slightly different show.
Right. That's why
Um.
we specifically say we listen to the most interesting video game music there is, not
Uh
necessarily the best.
huh. Because best is subjective.
But then you hear, like, if you hear there's been new renditions of this in
Oh, of
modern
course.
games, and that's just there's the proof in the pudding that the melody
Yeah.
stands. You play this like in Mario Kart 8. We did a Mario Kart 8 special
Mm-hmm.
eons ago,
Yep.
and in that game, it's all being played by a live band, and these songs are phenomenal because the core structure of them, like this song is super interesting. The instrument choices are really bizarre, but like when you
Yeah.
really listen to that kind of like almost like salsa piano that's going on, that it's not
Mm-hmm.
really a piano, but that's kind of like running through this game's soundtrack in a lot of tunes. The drums are really creative, like they've got this really cool Latin beat going on to them that runs throughout the whole soundtrack. It's a really like Soyo Oka really thought this through. There's a very cohesive style here that kind of runs all over the map, but it really all kind of fits together as well. I think it's
Oh,
brilliant.
no question. I'm just so curious why these instruments at this time. Just because all the other games that were coming out and the soundtracks that were coming out, I feel like instrumentation choices were maybe better suited for what they were doing for
Well,
that.
this game was definitely seemed to be going for a summer vibe. That
Mm, okay.
this is a lot of that kind of beachy, summery stuff. I think it was really popular back then. Was that
Yeah, you're
feeling
right.
hot, hot, hot song? Like
Yeah.
that was huge,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously she wanted there to be a real kind of goofball nature to this game because it's super freaking goofy.
Yeah.
So I think it all makes sense for sure.
Okay.
And then she just kind of took that beachy Caribbean vibe and attached it to some really memorable tunes.
All right, you got me. All right then.
Zipping right along, this is one of my favorites. I love this song. This is the Donut Plains. This is such a great melody. I love this song so much. So yeah, here's Donut Plains. Enjoy. Oh, there's those whistles. There they are.
Is it 1992 already?
It sure is. Boy, those whistles are something else. That was a whole thing back then, but man,
Oh my god, it was.
everything else about this. We talk a lot about great bass lines on this show, and this is a fantastic bass line. What a wonderful bass line this is, and it's coming out of such an odd bass sound. It's a strange thing to really call attention to, but man, it's the composition on this piece is so lovely, and when you hear this song in Mario Kart 8 with the organ playing the main melody is just like, oh, so good. Um, but this original recipe one, like honest, the whistles are so grating. They're so grating. I'm so glad they're as low in the mix as they are because like they're the only thing holding this song back. Otherwise, it would be just so perfectly relaxing to listen to. But then you're just like,
Yeah.
Please stop. Please stop.
Oh man.
It's so bad.
I almost want to ask you, what do those whistles sound like? I
No,
missed.
not no. No, sir.
I don't like it.
You only get one. Everybody
Oh,
gets one.
everybody gets one. Yeah. Um, you're gonna get no argument from me. I'm a very big fan of this track. The you're right. The bassline's really really good. It's just so strange that it's played in such a high register.
Yeah.
But to your point, excuse me. But to your point about the summer vibes, the beach vibes, and things like that, it makes total sense. It's almost got a Latin flair, that bass line. Doom, 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 doom. It's so solid. And then you go saying something stupid like wee 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 with the whistles.
Yup.
But okay, I to your point, you're right. It could totally be a great relaxing song if those whistles didn't exist. But there's a part of me that's like, I think the whistles really belong.
Yeah, I can't argue too hard with you there.
Yeah.
It's part of this game's personality, which is
Yes.
which
Well,
is
I,
something else.
I mean, to your point at the beginning of the episode, talking about the game itself, it was a brand new concept. They were trying. They really went out on a limb with this one, right? Like it was really
They
weird.
did.
Like, if you came up with this concept, would you have come up with it exactly as it was? Would it be more serious? Would it be more slapstick? What a fine line to tread. Because race, in my opinion, I'm not the biggest racing game fan. I've loved a couple over the years, but I'm not really the most inclined to play car driving games that aren't like a Grand Theft Auto or something. This this to me treads a fine line between racing and battling your friends and still maintains the replay value and the just massive amounts of fun. And so
Yeah.
I think you play the game and then you're tasked with creating the soundtrack. I think it's like you can experiment a little. I think there's a little bit of experimentation here because the game itself is an experiment.
Oh yeah. And a very successful one.
Very
I
successful
will
one.
I will always love that there is a Sega Genesis ad that was poking fun at the Super Nintendo and was using this as an example of like, if you're playing Super Nintendo, you're stuck playing this dorky game that spawned one of the biggest franchises in all of gaming history. Like,
Meanwhile, there's like you and I are like, yeah, and like you say that's like a bad thing. I'm
yeah,
okay with this.
really didn't pick the right
Ooh,
pick the right game to poke fun at
ooh,
there,
you really
guys.
you really got me there, Chief.
Yeah, ouch. Moving on, we're gonna go to Ghost Valley,
My
which
man.
is one of my favorite, not one of my favorite songs, but one of my favorite tracks because I used to
Yes.
love playing as Toad, and Toad could just kill on Ghost Valley. He had the perfect traction for it. But anyways,
Ah.
yes, Ghost Valley, one of these songs in here that really plays off the Super Mario World soundtrack. So enjoy. That's Ghost Valley, Super Mario Kart.
I remember hearing that for the first time and just being so unsettled because I feel like that's one of the first times that I've really heard a song in a game be unsettling.
Hmm.
Um, but then again, you're also talking to a guy that does a podcast about video game music and doesn't pay attention to the video game music of the game he's playing. So, I mean, I'm sure there were other soundtracks before this that had unsettling stuff, boss battles and things like that. But I vaguely remember, or not vaguely, I specifically remember hearing this for this first time and like looking at my friends like, what? What is this? This is crazy. Are you guys hearing this? Like I just like discovered the new world or something, you know? Meanwhile, the natives have been there forever. Like, who knows? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it is an unsettling piece of music because especially like considering how goofy everything has been up to this point.
Yeah.
Then you get to this and it's genuinely eerie. It does its job and it does it well.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying before, it is up there as one of my favorite levels to play. Again, because even as a youth, I like the dark and spooky stuff. But it was fun. I remember like the thwomps and things like that. The what do you call it? Obstacles and stuff. I remember just really enjoying the challenge of it, and especially when you get higher in the CCs and stuff like that.
Indeed. Well, sticking with the semi unsettling stuff that's also really kind of coming and pulling melody bits straight out of the Super Nintendo, we're gonna hit up Bowser's Castle next. Another fun stage with thwomps and lava everywhere. So here's Bowser's Castle. Castle, not Catchel. Castle.
Cattle?
Enjoy. Oh yeah.
Oh no. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Bowser's Castle music, all right. That's coming. It's a pretty straight play on the actual Bowser battle music from the end of Super Mario World, and it's pretty lovely. It's definitely still menacing, but in a I guess more friendly way than the the what's the Ghost House music is like creepy as heck, and this one like it's just really menacing music, but also using that kind of sort of goofy instrumentation, so it's sounds less menacing.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like if it stayed full on menacing, it might not be nearly it wouldn't fit with the theme of the game. The game has got like this carefree competition, which has greatly evolved into just straight competition now. But it's got this nice light competition back then. It's a little, just enough of left of center that it stays true to its source and yet keeps it, breezy. I guess is I don't know, light and breezy. Light. I'm making a Downy commercial over here. Um, but speaking of the '90s, there's those instrument hits. Bing, bing. a prototypical 90s sound effect between the whistle and those orchestra hits. That's what, yeah. Uh, Too much. But yeah, again, just menacing enough. There's like this, I don't know if it's supposed to be the kick. It's like really dirty. It's like really grimy,
Yeah,
like
it's really crunchy.
yeah, it's I was I'm like listening to the song and I'm kind of trying to cycle through each instrument and then I get to that kind of thing and I'm like, "What are you?" I go, "Look what the cat dragged in." It's like a hairball kick or something.
What are you even doing?
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
Well, moving right along, it's time to travel to the glorious Choco Island,
Uh,
which is, if memory serves me right, there's gonna be some more whistling, more of them whistles, just ready to pierce your ears with their screechy goodness. So here is Choco Island. Watch out for that drum solo. Enjoy. Well, that was chocolatey. Chocolatey and delicious. Yes, that was the Choco Island theme. And how did that one grab you?
it was very timpani heavy. Like the instead of having like a full on what do you call it, drum kit, they stuck with the timpani, which is kind of funny to me. Um, so there's like that again, another song that's got like a Latin flair to it. Or you know what it is? I feel like the intention was to have like some sort of Latin flair to go with what you're talking about, the summer, the Miami heat. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? It's like eternal summer, equator, whatever. Um, and just because maybe of the limitations of whether it was the system, the sound cards, the synthesizers, the knowledge. I don't know. It's like almost there. It just misses the mark enough to not be dead on, but it's close enough to go, ah, yeah, I see what you're trying for. So that might be what I guess unsettles me a little bit. But all that being said, you know, it holds such a place in my heart. Like it's such a wonderful piece of music. The bass, I actually really appreciate the bass sound here. This has such a great bass. It almost is like a piano. It's like an upright bass meets a piano somehow. I had a baby, and this was the timbre of the bass for this track.
Well, with that, we should move on to probably my favorite one. I think this is my favorite song.
All right.
I think this is as good as it gets as far as songs that stick with me that I just have to hum along to.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Koopa Beach theme. I love this song with every fiber of my being. I just adore it. So let's give it a listen. Enjoy. What a marvelous melody that is. I never get sick of that one. I've loved all the reinventions of it that have popped up in various games over the years. There's such a good version of this in Mario Kart World on Switch too. And it's so different too. There's a really high energy version of this in Mario Kart World, which is fantastic. But this, I love it so much. I love this one.
My first initial thought is it actually sounds like there's like three songs happening at once, which can be a little chaotic. I found it a little chaotic to listen to. Once I latched on to certain parts, it kind of started to take a better shape where it all started to kind of come together. Maybe it's because we played Choco Island and Koopa Beach back to back, but I feel like there is a big similarity there in the there's like the drumming. I think they share a very similar drumming, whatever it is, like it's supposed to be like congas or timbales or bongos or whatever. It has like a very similar. So again, I don't know if it's because we played them back to back, if they genuinely do or whatever. So immediately my first thought was like, wait, am I listening to the right song? And then all the other parts came in and I said, oh yeah, well this is definitely a different song, but that part's still the same. I don't know. So I did get a little distracted, but I will say again, excellent use of the bass sound, fantastic. The leads, fantastic. Love those parts a lot. I am now curious to go back and listen to the, I don't know, reinterpolations of this particular one. I'm really curious to hear it as a more modern uh, rendition. Thank you for that.
That's the Mario Kart World one I just sent you a link to, the
Yep.
newest one.
So
It's really something.
so for you guys listening, because this makes great great podcasting when Kris and I have in jokes. We actually shoot each other messages through Facebook Messenger, and as I'm saying, I would love to. He just sent it right to me. I was like, "Here you go. I know what you're thinking. Here it is."
Because I'm currently listening to it.
Oh.
I couldn't not.
No, something? Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second because sometimes when I talk about a track, I have to play it again. So sometimes I'm talking and I'm listening to it. So if it sounds like I'm distracted sometimes while I'm talking about the track, it's because I'm trying to make sure that what I'm talking about isn't utter BS and I'm making something up and I'm like, no, no, that's the part. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you do that, but that's what I do.
Pass.
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. Oh, boy. Anyways, let's keep this going because
Yes, sir.
I am running out of consciousness. Unfortunately, we're
Oh.
also running out of songs. So this next one is if Koopa Beach wasn't my favorite, this one would be. This one was definitely my favorite one when I was younger. I love this song. This is Vanilla Lake. It's the ice level, and I just think this has a just an. There's this one little, I don't know what the instrument is. That is like almost like a violin sort of thing that does this little. There's a little call and response bit in the song that just is. It's always gets me. I think this song is just wonderful. So this is Vanilla Lake from Super Mario Kart. Enjoy. Oh, that song makes me smile so very much. I just think it's bloody brilliant. This is one of those ones that takes those kind of goofy sound effects like with the bass. It's a little bit less of a springy bass, and it's just a really warm sounding song, but it also hits that winter coldness with the like the twinkly noise for the main melody. It's
hmm
brilliant. It's just brilliant.
that part you were talking about, the call and the response between whatever, flute, violin, or whatever it is.
Do
It's
do 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 do.
the only
It's so
the
good.
only word I can come up with is it's cheeky.
It is cheeky.
Huge cheeky little. Anyway, um, yeah. See, I really like that one a lot. It's like a nice little Roomba, Roomba, Ramba, Roomba.
A Roomba's a vacuum cleaner.
Then what's the? What am I thinking of?
I think you're right. A rumba.
I think you're right too. I also think I'm having a senior moment. Moving along. I think now I'm running out of consciousness.
Yeah. The steam. She's leaving the building.
Yeah, not the way she came
Uh,
in either.
yeah. So this next track is the last proper race course track, and that would be the one, the final track,
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Road.
Ah,
And this is the original Rainbow Road. And this song, this particular Rainbow Road is like in future Rainbow Roads, it's all about majesty and grandeur. And this one is just straight up unhinged.
yes.
Like this song is unhinged madness. So
It's a-
here is Rainbow Road. Go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, that's it. Enjoy. song. Man, what a song. The
It's literally just as unhinged as the level.
It is, right? Because the stage itself is like Rainbow Road is, you think about it, you think like beautiful and bombastic, and this one's just like flat mode 7 checkerboard pattern with just solid block colors in no particular order. No walls, just
Nope.
flying off the side.
Yep.
The thwomps glow, so you can't even run into them. They just make you spin out. It's just madness. But the percussion in this song is so weird. I love it so much. It's so, it doesn't hit you with like a standard rhythm. It just like does all these really weird hits at weird times, and I absolutely adore it. And then the part where it just kind of really builds together with that almost kind of pretty part that's really kind of epic sounding. It just really comes together before the song loops. It's just magic. This whole song is just magic.
It's it's very reminiscent of Pilot Wings in its own right.
Word, yeah, I can hear that.
I don't know. I can't quite. I mean, I'd have to spend more time to put my finger on it. I don't think we're here for that. Um, there is some. I know what you meant by like further iterations made it more majestic, more regal. There was more clout to it, whatever, to get to Rainbow Road. But there's some sort of. I don't think it's heavy-handed, but I think there's a little respect. Put some respect on its name, so to speak. But yeah, this again, the first time getting to this level was like, what is this? And then of course the first time falling off the edge, you're like, there's no what? There's no guardrails, and then all of a sudden now you're
nothing anywhere. It's just constant falling and rage.
You're just trying to throw each other off instead of race. It's ridiculous. Lots of fun though. Lots of fun. Great track.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, we've got 2 left. This next one's a bit of a short one, but it's another one that's reprised in I believe every Mario Kart game, and this is the tournament win. This is the victory ceremony when you get your trophy, when the fish floats by and barfs it on your head or whatever it does. It's pretty weird. They eventually stopped it with the big floating fish.
Lame.
Yeah. But anyways, this is tournament win. Very triumphant song. Enjoy. What a great job they did on making that sound really really triumphant, you know?
Yeah.
Well, within the confines of the instrument choices they've made with this game, I think it's a super memorable song, and it works in every Mario Kart game it's in, especially this one.
How could it not? I mean, like, you won. How could you not want to like celebrate that? Especially if you're playing your friends and you're rubbing it in their face. So suck it, loser.
Speaking of suck it, losers, it's time for the last track of the night, and that is the battle mode theme. Oh, the battle mode theme. I love it.
So much bickering, so much hate, so much hand swinging.
Jumping over the walls with you get the feather, and you think to yourself, "Oh no, not the feather!" And then you realize, "Wait, I can jump over a wall with the feather." And then you can't hit me with your red shell, sucker.
Yep.
God, I love battle mode. Such
battle
fun.
mode's so great.
Here's the battle mode theme. Enjoy. It's the business right there. That's the business.
That's what you came here for.
Yep. You wanted business, you found it. Suits and ties, green shells flopping all over the place. Love
Handshakes with eye contact.
it.
Prolonged eye contact. Awkward questions
Business.
about your family. How's the wife and kids, Jim? What the
Yeah.
hell's going on?
Buried in the backyard. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nah, man. Battle mode. I swear. I think me and my friends played more battle mode than we did the actual racing. And that's to say, that's a lot of battle mode because we raced a lot too. We really we needed to know who the best racer was, and then we needed to know who the best battle guy was. And oh man, so much time spent. What a I loved it.
What's not to love?
I'm hard pressed, my friend. Real hard pressed.
Well, speaking of hard pressed, I'm fresh out of uh transitions. There it
Oranges.
is. Man.
Oh, nailed
Fresh
it.
out of reasonable transitions. So that's going to wrap things up for us here this evening in this celebration of the original Super Mario Kart. If you haven't played Mario Kart World yet, find somebody with a Switch 2 and give it a shot. It's a great time. But yes, that is our show, which means it's your turn, Matt. What are we going to listen to next?
You know, I really thought Mario Kart was my choice. I was wrong.
Yeah, you did Wizards and Warriors.
You're right. Which is funny because I forgot I did Wizards and Warriors. I thought my last choice was Earthworm Jim. I am.
Time has no meaning.
Nope. It's a flat disk or something.
The internet is a series of tubes.
What?
What?
like pneumatic tubes?
No, isn't that what Al Gore said? The internet is a series of tubes.
Maybe the internet he invented. Anyway, you're going to ask me what my next choice is, and I'm going to say, I don't know, man. I've been thinking about it long and hard, but that's BS. I'm just looking at our list, or I say our list. I'm looking at your wish list, and it is my wish to empty your wish list. So the first thing that really stuck out to me, and I say this begrudgingly, our next episode is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You say begrudgingly because the game's a pain in the ass, but
Oh
boys,
my
that
God.
soundtrack killer.
Yeah, well, the whole game's killer.
Yeah, we don't have to get stuck in cheap deaths and horrible jumps and pink seaweed that insta kills you. We can just sit back and listen to the killer NES soundtrack that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well done.
I make a motion that that's what we do.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's it, everybody. We here at the WaveBack Music Podcast are incredibly grateful to everyone who listens, and we love communicating with you when we can. We have a couple of ways you can do that. There's the Geekade Discord channel, in which we have a WaveBack chat where we frequently discuss all manner of stuff relating to video game music and whatever our next episodes are going to be. Of course, you can always still send us an email at mail@geekade.com. And while you're at it, check out all our social media channels, which you should totally follow, like, and subscribe to if you haven't already. WaveBack and other Geekade podcasts are made possible thanks to the Geekade Patreon page. There, patrons get access to a monthly podcast topic and recording schedule, get early access to most of Geekade's shows, including this one, and more. If you've enjoyed our podcasts over the years, follow the link in the description and give it a look. We really appreciate it. Finally, as always, be sure to check out all the other great content we have on our site over at geekade.com. We'll be leaving you tonight with the Staff Roll. This is the music that plays over some tremendous displays of the powers of Mode 7 technology on the Super Nintendo after you've finished Rainbow Road. It's the Staff Roll. It's a good tune. It's a memorable tune, and it is here to send you off into the wilderness, whatever sense that kind of makes. Enjoy, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.